Hello, everyone, and welcome to English in Motion. I'm really glad you're here. Before we start, take 1 second to tap, like, and subscribe so you can learn English with me every single day. All right, take a deep breath. Let's begin. Forget grammar rules for a moment. Forget the pressure to sound perfect. Forget the fear of making mistakes. Because today's lesson is different, this is 1 hour C1 English listening practice with real, natural conversations, simple at the start, deeper and more advanced as we move forward. And throughout this video, you'll hear short shadowing prompts. Whenever you hear them, repeat after me. Speak with confidence, even if you're alone. Say it with me, I can speak English clearly. Shadowing pause. Again, I can speak English clearly. Good. Let's begin our journey. A quiet morning real-life C1 listening practice. The morning light slips through the curtains, soft and slow. I open my eyes and stretch my arms, letting the quiet of the room settle around me. The clock glows faintly 6:52 a.m. I sit up slowly, noticing the cool air on my skin. For a moment, I don't rush. I simply breathe. Then I whisper to myself, "Let's make today meaningful." Shadowing pause. Repeat. Let's make today meaningful. I stand and walk toward the bathroom, feeling the familiar rhythm of a new day. When I turn on the tap, cold water rinses away the last pieces of sleep. My reflection in the mirror looks calm, a little tired, but ready. I brush my teeth slowly, not hurrying, not thinking about the countless tasks waiting for me, just focusing on this moment, this one simple, peaceful moment. When I step into the kitchen, the smell of fresh morning air fills the space. I place a small pot on the stove and boil water for tea. The soft bubbling begins, steady and comforting. While I wait, I slice an apple, toast a piece of bread, and spread a thin layer of butter on top. Nothing fancy, just enough to start the day. As I eat, I stare out the window, watching a single car pass by. Slow and quiet. The world is waking up, and so am I. I finish breakfast, wipe the counter, and stand for a moment with my warm cup in both hands. Then I say, I'm ready for today. Shadowing pause. Repeat, I'm ready for today. The walk to the metro. Natural C1 conversations. By 7:38 a.m., I'm outside, walking toward the metro station. The air is cool, almost crisp, brushing lightly against my face. A delivery boy cycles past me, humming to himself. A woman walks her dog, smiling politely as she passes. The city is not loud, yet just gentle, waking sounds. At the corner, a small coffee stand is already open. The owner, Mr. Patel, nods the moment he sees me. "Morning, sir. Your usual, yes," I say with a smile. "1 coffee, no sugar." He prepares it quickly, handing it to me with the familiar warning. "Careful, it's hot." Just like every morning. I take a sip, strong, warm, just right. As I walk, 2 men ahead of me are discussing yesterday's traffic. One says, "I was stuck for almost an hour." The other laughs. "Welcome to city life." I smile quietly. These small conversations are the heartbeat of the morning. At the metro entrance, I tap my card and step inside. The cool underground air replaces the warmth of the street. A train arrives with a soft rush of wind. Inside, people are scattered around, some reading, some half asleep, some practicing their own morning routines. I find a seat near the door. Across from me, a young man, maybe in his 20s, is whispering something to himself. At first, I can't hear, but then I realize he's shadowing English phrases from a podcast. His voice is soft but steady. I want to improve. I want to speak confidently. I can do this. I listen for a moment and smile. I know that feeling. I was there once. I still am. In some ways. He notices me looking and gives a shy smile. Sorry, he says. I'm practicing. No need to apologize, I reply. Keep going. You're doing great. He nods, encouraged. When the train stops at the next station, he stands up. Before leaving, he says, "Thank you." Sometimes I feel silly talking to myself. I shake my head. No, you sound determined. That's what matters. He smiles and steps off the train. As the doors close, I whisper a shadowing line, for you and for anyone else who needs it. I'm improving every day. Shadowing pause. Again, I'm improving every day. Arriving at work. A natural advanced conversation. At 8:57 a.m., I reach the office, a modern building with tall glass windows that reflect the rising sun. Inside, the familiar scent of fresh coffee mixes with the soft click of keyboards. I greet a coworker near the elevator. Morning, Mia. She looks up, smiling tiredly. Morning, long night preparing the proposal. Hopefully today is easier, I say. Hopefully, she replies, laughing softly. On the 7th floor, I step into the office. Colleagues are talking near the hallway. Someone laughs loudly. Someone else sighs dramatically at their screen. A normal workday beginning. I sit at my desk and open my laptop. Emails, notifications, reminders, they appear instantly. But before diving in, I take one steady breath. One simple breath. Because sometimes that's all it takes to stay grounded. Small shadowing break. Repeat these phrases with me. We'll use them later in the story. I can express myself clearly. I can handle advanced conversations. I understand more than I think. Shadow them one more time. I understand more than I think. The office becomes a little louder as more people arrive. Footsteps echo across the floor. Chairs slide back. Coffee machines hiss and release warm steam. I start reviewing yesterday's tasks, scrolling through project notes and client messages. My mind slowly settles into work mode. Just then, my manager, Olivia, walks by holding a tablet. "Good morning," she says, pausing near my desk. "Morning," I reply. "Do you have 2 minutes?" she asks. Her tone is neutral, but the question always makes me a little nervous. "Of course," I say. We step inside a quiet meeting room. She closes the door gently, then sits across from me. "I reviewed your analysis from last week," she begins. My shoulders tense, a little. Old habits. Old fears. I wait. Then she smiles. It was strong, clear logic, organized structure, and your recommendations were practical. Relief washes over me like warm water. "Thank you," I say honestly. "I've been trying to make my writing more concise." Olivia nods. "It shows. And I want you to lead part of the client discussion tomorrow." My heart bumps once hard. "Me, yes," she says. You're ready. I pause, letting the words sink in. For years, I avoided speaking. I worried about sounding unsure, sounding imperfect, sounding like someone who didn't belong. But today, something feels different, stronger. All right, I say with a calm breath. I'll do it. Olivia smiles. That's what I like to hear. We step out of the meeting room, and I return to my desk with a quiet sense of confidence growing inside me. Shadowing moment. Say this with me, I can handle this. Shadowing pause. Again, I can handle this. Lunchtime, a natural advanced conversation. By noon, the office rhythm softens. People stretch in their chairs, rub their eyes, and gather their things for lunch. I walk with two coworkers, Ethan and Mia, to a small cafe down the street. The air outside feels warmer now, carrying the smell of roasted coffee beans from nearby shops. Inside the cafe, soft music plays. People talk quietly, laptops open, spoons clinking against ceramic cups. We find a table near the window. Ethan opens the menu and groans dramatically. Why is choosing food always the hardest part of my day? Mia laughs. It's not that deep. Ethan, he sighs. Oh, it is. My happiness depends on this sandwich. We all laugh, the kind of laughter that breaks tension and fills the air with lightness. A server approaches our table. Hi there. What can I get for you today? Her voice is friendly, clear, and slightly fast. Perfect listening practice for C1 learners. I order first. I'll have the grilled chicken salad, please. And an iced green tea. Of course, she says, typing quickly. Mia orders soup. Ethan changes his mind 3 times before choosing a tuna melt. The server smiles patiently the whole time. When she leaves, Ethan leans forward. You know, he says, I used to panic ordering in English. Then one day I realized nobody cares if your accent is perfect. They just want your order. Mia nods. Exactly. Confidence is more important than pronunciation. They both look at me. What about you? Mia asks. You speak pretty comfortably now. I think for a second. I used to rehearse before speaking. I admit, even simple things ordering food, asking for directions, small talk at work. I would prepare lines in my head like a script. Ethan smiles. A lot of us did. Still do, Mia adds quietly. Then she looks at me and says, What helped you change? I take a slow breath. Real conversations, I say. Not textbook dialogues, not forced practice. Just talking to people, listening to how they really speak, noticing rhythm, tone, pauses. Ethan nods. That's the secret. Real life. The server brings our food, placing each plate carefully. The smell is warm, comforting, almost calming. Before eating, I close my eyes briefly and say, Thanks for the food. A simple moment of gratitude. Shadowing break. Repeat after me, I learn from real conversations. Shadowing pause. Again, I learn from real conversations. Afternoon, work deeper, more advanced listening. After lunch, I return to the office and settle into my chair. The afternoon feels calmer, slower, but heavier in a productive way. I open the presentation draft on my screen. Charts, numbers, notes all waiting for structure. I begin shaping the content, sentence by sentence. Then I hear a soft knock on my desk. It's Mia. Got a minute? Sure. She hands me a printed document. Can you review this paragraph? I want it to sound more natural, more like something you'd say in a meeting. I scan the paragraph. It's detailed, smart, but a bit stiff. I read it out loud. We have encountered various operational challenges that may prevent timely completion of our objectives. Then I rephrase it naturally. We've run into a few issues that could delay our progress. Mia blinks. That sounds so much clearer. That's all native speakers do, I say. They simplify. They cut the noise. Mia taps her pen thoughtfully. Sometimes I overthink every sentence. Everyone does, I reply. It's part of learning at this level. She nods, encouraged. Thanks. This helps a lot. She walks away, leaving me with a small smile. Helping others always reminds me how far I've come. I return to my laptop and continue shaping the presentation slides. Time passes quietly, focused and steady. Mini shadowing break C1 phrases. Repeat after me. I can express complex ideas clearly. Shadowing pause. I don't need perfect grammar to communicate well. Shadowing pause. I speak with confidence and clarity. Shadowing pause. Good. The afternoon sun stretches long shadows across the office floor. People begin moving around, more refilling water bottles, stretching their backs, walking to the printer. There's a quiet rhythm to it, a familiar pulse of a workday in motion. I look at the clock, 3:12 p.m. That late afternoon heaviness settles in, the feeling where the day is not over, but the energy is slowing down. I stand and walk to the break room to refill my water bottle. The machine hums softly. Outside the window, the sky looks bright, almost glowing. As I'm filling my bottle, someone steps beside me. It's Jonathan, one of the senior managers, calm, sharp, and always observant. Long day, he asks. I smile. Not too bad. Just preparing for tomorrow's discussion. He nods slowly. I heard Olivia asked you to lead part of it. Yes, I reply, trying to sound calm, even though my heart beats a little faster. Jonathan leans a shoulder against the counter, thoughtful. You know, he says, the first time I led a client meeting, I barely slept the night before. I kept thinking every sentence had to be perfect. I let out a small laugh. Sounds familiar. Jonathan smiles. Then someone told me something simple, something that changed the way I speak. I raise an eyebrow. Curious. What was it? He looks at me directly. People don't remember perfect sentences. They remember clarity, confidence, and honesty. I breathe out slowly, letting those words sink in. Jonathan continues, just communicate, don't perform. I nod. Thank you, I say quietly. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Shadowing moment. Repeat this. I communicate clearly and confidently. Shadowing pause. And again, I communicate clearly and confidently. We walk out of the break room together. Jonathan heads left toward the conference rooms. I return to my desk, feeling lighter, steadier. A short call advanced real-life listening. Not long after I sit down, my phone buzzes softly on the desk. It's my sister. I answer with a smile. Hey, what's up? Her voice sounds bright as always, just checking in. You alive? Barely. I joke. Long day. She laughs. Tell me about it. I'm grading papers. My brain is melting. We talk for a moment about random things, traffic, the weather, her students. Then her tone becomes softer. You sound calmer lately, she says, more grounded. I pause. Yeah, I reply honestly. I guess I'm trying to slow down a little, notice things more. She smiles through the phone. I'm proud of you. Her words land gently, quietly. Then she says, Oh, and you still speaking English every day, every chance I get. Good. Keep going. You're getting better. We say goodbye, and I return to work. Shadowing break. Repeat after me, I'm improving every single day. Shadowing pause. End of workday, advanced daily conversation. By 5:06 p.m., the office begins to empty out. People pack their bags, shut down laptops, wave quick goodbyes. I gather my things slowly, taking a moment to breathe before heading out. As I reach the elevator, I hear someone call out behind me. Wait, it's Mia. I hold the door open. She steps in and presses the lobby button. I meant to say thanks again for helping earlier, she says. No problem, I reply. You're doing great. She tucks a strand of hair behind her ear. Do you ever get nervous in meetings? She asks suddenly. All the time, I admit, but I also learned something. What? If you focus on the message instead of the mistakes, everything becomes easier. Mia breathes out, almost relieved. That actually makes sense. The elevator dings and opens. We step out and walk toward the building's exit. Outside, the air feels cool again, the kind of early evening breeze that wakes you up gently. Mia looks at me and says, Thanks, really. I smile. You'll be fine. She nods and walks toward the bus stop. I head toward the metro entrance. The train ride home. A quiet reflection. The platform feels calm, not too crowded. A street musician plays a soft tune near the staircase, the notes echoing through the underground. When the train arrives, I step in and find a seat near the window. The ride home always feels different from the ride to work, slower, more thoughtful, more reflective. I lean back and let my mind wander. I think about the day, the small conversations, the advice from Jonathan, the phone call with my sister, the nervousness, and the progress. Sometimes progress feels invisible, but today I could feel it. A little more clarity, a little more confidence, a little more calm. The train moves through tunnels, past dim lights and blurred reflections. I whisper softly, You're doing okay. Shadowing moment. Repeat after me, I'm doing okay. Shadowing pause. Again, I'm doing okay. A stop before home, advanced C1 listening. I get off the train 2 stops early. Not because I need to, but because I like walking the last part home. The street is lined with small shops, bookstores, florists, tiny bakeries. Warm lights spill onto the sidewalk. The evening feels peaceful, familiar. As I walk, I stop at a small grocery store to pick up fresh fruit. Inside, soft music plays. The aisles smell like oranges and clean wooden shelves. A young cashier greets me. Good evening. Let me know if you need help. Thanks, I reply. I grab some bananas, 2 apples, and a small bag of almonds. When I reach the counter, the cashier scans everything quickly. That'll be $4.95. I tap my card. A moment passes. Then she says something unexpectedly human. "You look like you had a long day." I blink. Surprised? Was it that obvious? She smiles, not in a bad way, just the calm, kind of tired. I laugh softly. That sounds accurate. She hands me the bag. "Well, have a peaceful evening." "You too." When I step outside, I feel lighter again. It's strange how small conversations can lift you. Shadowing break C1. Phrases to keep you fluent. Repeat these sentences slowly, naturally. I'm learning to stay calm under pressure. Shadowing pause. I express myself confidently, even when I'm unsure. Shadowing pause. I'm getting better, day by day. Shadowing pause. Good. Ending of part 3. I continue walking home, the grocery bag gently bumping against my leg, the cool evening air brushing past me. The day has been long, but meaningful. And this quiet walk is the perfect way to transition into the night. The sky is turning a gentle shade of blue as I walk the final block toward my apartment. Streetlights blink on one by one, casting warm circles of light onto the pavement. The neighborhood feels calm, familiar, almost comforting in its predictability. When I reach my building, I scan my key card and step inside. The lobby is quiet, except for the soft hum of the air conditioner. An older security guard, Mr. Harris, sits behind the counter reading a newspaper. He glances up when he hears the door. "Evening," he says with a small nod. "Evening," I reply. He folds the newspaper slightly. "Long day." I smile. That seems to be the theme today. Everyone keeps asking me that. He chuckles. People notice energy, even when they don't realize it. I pause, thinking about that. He's right. We think our tiredness or stress is invisible, but people read more than we say. "Get some rest," he adds kindly. "I will. Have a good night," I say before stepping into the elevator. Inside the elevator, soft instrumental music plays a slow piano melody. I lean against the wall and breathe deeply. Up, up, up. The elevator stops. I walk down the hallway, unlock my door, and step inside. At home, real-life advanced listening. The moment I enter, the quietness wraps around me like a soft blanket. The gentle hum of a fridge, the smell of clean laundry from earlier this morning, the dim, warm light in the living room, it all feels peaceful. I place my small grocery bag on the kitchen counter, wash the apples, and put everything neatly in the fridge. Then I heat some water for tea. While I wait, I loosen my shoulders, stretch my neck, and exhale slowly. The kind of exhale you don't even realize you've been holding in all day. When the water boils, I pour it into a cup and drop in a tea bag. Steam rises gently. I sit by the window with my cup, watching cars move quietly on the street below. The city feels different at night, slower, softer, calmer. As I sip my tea, I whisper to myself, "You made it through today." Shadowing moment. Repeat after me. Calmly, "I made it through today." Shadowing pause. Again, "I made it through today." A call from a friend. Deep, natural conversation. My phone buzzes softly. It's a video call request from Ava. I smile before answering. Hey, I say, as her face appears on the screen. She looks relaxed, sitting in what looks like a cozy room with warm lights behind her. Hi, she says. Just wanted to check in. You disappeared after work. I take another sip of tea. I needed a walk and some time to think. What about, she asks gently. I shrug. Everything. Work. Tomorrow's presentation. The usual noise in my head. Ava nods knowingly. I get that. Some days feel heavier than others. Yeah, I agree. But today wasn't bad. Just full. She smiles. Full days are good. They make you feel alive. There's a pause. Easy and natural. Then Ava says, You sounded more confident earlier, more centered. Really, I ask. Yeah, it's like you're becoming more comfortable in your own skin. I laugh softly. I'm trying. She tilts her head. You know what helps? A night routine. Something that grounds you. Like what? For me, she says, I write 3 sentences every night. One thing I learned, one thing I'm grateful for, and one thing I want to improve. That's actually nice, I say. You should try it. I might. Ava smiles gently. Anyway, rest well, and don't overthink tomorrow. You've got this. I look at her for a moment, grateful. Thanks. Good night, Ava. Good night. The screen fades to black. Quiet reflection, listening for C1, C2 level. I remain seated by the window, looking out at the quiet streets. A small part of me still feels nervous about tomorrow, but a bigger part feels calm. Growth is slow, but it's real. I whisper something I often forget to say. You're doing better than you think. And I let the words settle into the room like a soft truth. Shadowing moment. Repeat after me, I'm doing better than I think. Shadowing pause. One more time, I'm doing better than I think. Preparing dinner. Simple yet meaningful moments. I walk to the kitchen, wash my hands, and start preparing a small dinner, nothing complicated. Just noodles, vegetables, a bit of garlic, and some olive oil. As the vegetables sizzle softly in the pan, the room fills with a warm, familiar smell. Cooking always slows me down. It makes me feel human, present, in the moment. While I stir the pan, I think about something Jonathan said earlier. Communicate, don't perform. It hits deeper now. So much of learning English, especially at higher levels, isn't about grammar. It's about expression, clarity, authenticity, presence. I turn off the stove, plate the food, and sit at the table. The first bite is always the best. Warm, simple, comforting. I eat slowly, enjoying every flavor. Dinner thoughts, advanced emotional listening. After a few minutes, I whisper softly, You're allowed to rest. It sounds simple, but sometimes simple truths are the hardest to believe. I finish dinner, wash the dishes, and wipe the counter clean. The apartment feels tidy, peaceful, and warm. Shadowing break deeper. C1 sentences to build fluency. Repeat these sentences slowly, naturally. I trust myself more each day. Shadowing pause. I speak confidently, even when I feel unsure. Shadowing pause. My voice matters. Shadowing pause. I am becoming fluent, one conversation at a time. Shadowing pause. Excellent. A short walk on the balcony night ambience. I step onto my small balcony. The air is fresh. A few cars pass by. A distant dog barks. Somewhere far away. Someone plays soft music. The city feels alive, but gently. I lean on the railing and look at the glowing windows of other apartments' different lives, different stories, all unfolding at the same time. It reminds me that everyone carries something. Everyone is learning, growing, struggling in their own quiet ways. I whisper, "You're not alone." Shadowing moment. Repeat. I'm not alone. Shadowing pause. Good. The night deepens, and the air becomes cooler as I step back inside. I close the balcony door gently and take one last look at the dark sky outside. The city is quiet now, almost peaceful in a way that only late evenings can be. I walk to the living room, turn on a soft lamp, and sit down on the couch. The warm light fills the corner of the room. I feel calm, comfortably tired, but not exhausted. I grab my notebook and a pen. Maybe Ava was right. Maybe writing 3 sentences each night could help. I open the notebook to a blank page and write. One thing I learned today: clarity matters more than perfection. One thing I'm grateful for: conversations that remind me I'm growing. One thing I want to improve: speaking with confidence under pressure. I look at the page for a moment, letting the words sink in. Simple, but true. A knock at the door. Natural advanced conversation. Suddenly, I hear a knock. It's soft but clear. I stand, curious, and open the door. Daniel stands there holding a small box of pastries. He grins. "Peace offering," he says. I laugh. For what? For eating your snacks last week, and for dragging you into that meeting you didn't want to attend. I shake my head, smiling. "You didn't have to bring anything." He shrugs. "I wanted to. Also, I needed an excuse to talk." He steps inside, and I close the door behind him. Daniel looks around. "Your place always feels peaceful. Mine looks like a hurricane lives there." I chuckle. "I just clean when I'm stressed." "Ah," he says, pointing. "So that's your secret." He hands me the pastry box. "I got extra, in case you're hungry." "Thanks," I say. "Tea. Always." I boil water again and prepare 2 cups. Daniel sits on the couch, leaning back with a tired sigh. "You know," he begins slowly, "I'm nervous about the client meeting tomorrow too." I sit beside him. You're usually confident." He lets out a laugh. "Only on the outside. Inside, I'm a mess." I take a sip of tea. "Honestly, same." Daniel nods. "I think everyone pretends. Everyone looks confident until you get close enough to hear the cracks." "That's true," I say. He looks at me seriously. "You know what helps me?" "What?" "Remembering that the client is human. They eat breakfast. They complain about traffic. They forget passwords. Same as us. We're not performing for robots." I laugh softly. "That's a good reminder." Daniel smirks. "So tomorrow, let's just be human." I nod. "Deal." There's a comfortable silence between us as we sip our tea. Shadowing break. Repeat after me. Slowly, I don't have to be perfect to be confident. Shadowing pause. Again, I don't have to be perfect to be confident. A deeper conversation, advanced listening. After a minute, Daniel says. You know, you've changed a lot. I glance at him. How? You speak differently, calmer, clearer, like you're actually listening to yourself. I blink at that, listening to myself. It's not something I've ever consciously tried to do. I ask, You think that's good? It's great, he says without hesitation. It's like you're not chasing approval anymore. You're just present. I don't respond immediately. His words ring true in a way I didn't expect. He adds softly, Not everyone gets there. Most people speak to impress. You speak to connect. A quiet warmth spreads in my chest. I didn't expect this kind of honesty tonight. Thank you, I say, meaning it. Daniel stands up and stretches. All right, I should go before I fall asleep on your couch. I walk him to the door. As he steps out, he says, Hey, tomorrow you'll do great. I smile. You will too. He waves and disappears into the hallway. I close the door gently. A moment of stillness, C1, C2. Reflective listening. I walk back to the couch and sit down again, holding my tea. Daniel's words linger in my mind. You're not chasing approval anymore. You're just present. Maybe that's what fluency really is. Not perfect grammar, not advanced vocabulary, but presence, confidence, connection. I whisper softly, almost as if reminding myself, You're allowed to take up space. Shadowing moment. Repeat after me, I'm allowed to take up space. Shadowing pause. One more time, I'm allowed to take up space. A calm night work session. Natural advanced vocabulary. I open my laptop to review tomorrow's presentation one last time. The slides look clean, clear, simple. No complicated phrases, just real, human language. Here's what we found. Here's what it means. Here's our recommendation. I practice the opening sentence out loud. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, I'd like to walk you through our findings. Simple, direct, honest. I repeat it again, slower, more confidently. Then I add, and if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me. I'd be happy to explain anything in more detail. I rehearse that as well, and it feels natural. Shadowing break, repeat after me. I speak clearly and confidently in every situation. Shadowing pause. I can lead advanced conversations. Shadowing pause. My English is strong, natural, and fluent. Shadowing pause. Excellent. Ending part 5. I close my laptop and stretch my arms. The night is quiet. My apartment is warm. My mind feels clearer than it did earlier. I whisper one last sentence before getting ready for bed. You're exactly where you need to be. The morning light slips gently through the curtains, warmer and brighter than yesterday. I open my eyes and lie still for a moment, listening to the soft hum of the world outside. Cars passing in the distance, a distant bird, someone walking in the hallway outside my apartment. Today matters, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. I sit up, stretch my arms, and take a slow breath. Steady, I whisper to myself. Just be steady. I stand and walk to the bathroom as warm water runs over my hands. I look at my reflection, not nervous alert, not scared alive. This is the version of me I used to wish for. Not flawless, just present. I splash cold water on my face, feeling my senses sharpen. Then I speak softly, deliberately. You're ready. Shadowing moment. Repeat with me, I'm ready. Shadowing pause. Again, I'm ready. Breakfast calm before the day. In the kitchen, I make a simple breakfast yogurt, fruit, and a cup of hot tea. The steam rising from the cup feels grounding. As I stir the tea, I rehearse the first line of the presentation again in my head. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. I speak it out loud, softly, naturally. Then I smile to myself, not forced, just a gentle, confident smile. While eating, I remind myself of something Daniel said last night. The client is human. It's funny how often we forget that. We imagine audiences as walls, judges, critics, but they're just people doing their jobs. People like us. I finish breakfast, wash my dish, wipe the counter, and grab my bag. Before leaving, I stand still for a moment, letting the quiet wrap around me. Then I whisper, "Show up, that's enough." Shadowing repeat, I show up, I do my best. Shadowing pause. The walk to the office, real C1 listening practice. The air outside is cool and fresh. The sun hangs low, painting soft gold across the buildings. People walk quickly, sipping coffee, checking their phones, adjusting their bags. Everyone is in their own world. Everyone has somewhere to be. As I walk toward the metro, I spot a familiar face, Mr. Patel, the man who runs the coffee stand. He smiles when he sees me. "Morning, sir." "Big day." I raise an eyebrow. "How do you know?" He chuckles. "I've been watching people for 20 years. I can read faces better than books." I laugh. "Well, you're not wrong. Presentation day." He nods knowingly and hands me a cup. On the house. Extra strong for extra courage. I blink. Touched. "You didn't have to." "I didn't have to," he interrupts, "but I wanted to." I take the cup, warm in my hands. "Thank you, really." He waves me off. "Go, do well." As I walk away, the coffee warms not just my hands, but my chest. The metro ride advanced inner dialogue. On the train, I find a seat and breathe deeply. A woman next to me is practicing French on her phone. A young man across the aisle is rehearsing a speech. A student is flipping through notes for an exam. Everyone is preparing for something. It makes me feel less alone. I close my eyes and let the quiet rumble of the train steady me. I whisper, "You're capable." Shadowing repeat, "I'm capable." Shadowing pause. Again, I'm capable. Arriving at the office. Natural professional conversation. When I step into the building, the energy feels different, focused, purposeful. Mia waits near the elevator, holding a folder tightly. "There you are," she says. Nervous. "A little, I admit. You." She laughs softly. "A lot." We step into the elevator. As the doors close, she inhales deeply. I hope I don't freeze. "You won't," I say calmly. "Just speak simply. Focus on the message, not the performance." She nods slowly. "Right. Communicate. Don't perform. You said that yesterday." We reach the 7th floor. As we step out, she looks at me again. "You know, you've become someone people trust." I blink. Surprised. Why do you say that? Because when you speak, it feels sincere, not showy, not forced, just honest. I smile at that. Honest. A word I never thought would describe my English. Thanks, I say softly. Final preparation, advanced listening and thinking. Inside the meeting room, the table is already set, folders neatly arranged, screens ready, glasses of water placed evenly. I sit down, open my laptop, and adjust the slides one last time. Jonathan enters with Olivia and gives me a brief nod, the silent kind of encouragement that means more than words. Ready, he whispers as he leans down. Yes, I answer. This time, no hesitation. Daniel walks in next, relaxed as usual. He bumps my shoulder lightly. Let's do this. I laugh quietly. Let's do this. The clients arrive a few minutes later, calm, professional, polite. We greet them warmly. Then Olivia turns to me and says, "You can start whenever you're ready." I stand. My heart pulses once steady, grounded, not afraid. I look at the room, at the people, at the moment I used to fear. And then I begin. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, I'd like to walk you through our findings. The words flow naturally, calm, clear, confident. Not because I memorized them, but because I own them. As I speak, I feel present, not performing, communicating. The room listens. No judgment, no pressure, just people sharing ideas. For the first time in years, I feel fluent, not perfect fluent. Comfortable, in control, myself. Shadowing break strong C1, C2 confidence lines. Repeat after me. I speak naturally, clearly, and confidently. Shadowing pause. My English flows with ease. Shadowing pause. I can express complex ideas without fear. Shadowing pause. I belong in every conversation. Shadowing pause. Excellent. The presentation ends with a quiet click as I close my laptop. For a moment, the room is completely still. No one rushes to speak. No one shuffles their papers. It's that rare kind of silence, the respectful kind, when people are genuinely processing what they just heard. Then the client across the table, a woman in a gray suit with sharp eyes and a calm voice, leans forward. "That was clear," she says. "Concise, easy to follow." I nod politely, but inside, something warm flickers like the beginning of trust in myself. Another client adds, "I appreciated how you simplified the data without losing the meaning." I respond with a steady voice. "Thank you. Our goal is to make sure the insights are practical and usable." Olivia glances at me with a subtle smile, a proud smile. Then Jonathan jumps in to lead the next part of the discussion. I sit back slightly, still alert, but relieved. Daniel, sitting beside me, leans in and whispers, "You nailed it." I whisper back, "We nailed it." He hides a grin behind his hand. And for the first time, I feel something I rarely used to feel at work, not survival, not fear, but belonging. Hallway natural advanced dialogue. When the meeting ends, we walk out into the hallway. The air feels lighter, almost celebratory. Olivia closes the meeting room door gently behind us. She turns to me. "That was excellent," she says. Exactly what we needed. I nod. I'm glad it was useful. She pauses for a moment. 6 months ago, you barely spoke in meetings. I smile. I remember. And now, she continues, you're presenting to international clients. I shrug slightly, but with pride. Small steps. No, she says softly, just real steps. Jonathan joins us. He pats my shoulder. You've come a long way. Keep going. I thank them both and head toward my desk. Back at the office, a growing confidence. When I sit down, my phone vibrates. A message from my sister. How did it go? Are you proud of yourself yet? I type back. It went well, really well, and yes, I think I am. Her reply comes instantly. Good, you deserve that feeling. Remember it. I put the phone down and take a moment to breathe it all in the quiet satisfaction of progress. Then I whisper to myself, you did it. Shadowing break. Repeat, I did it. Shadowing pause. Again I did it. Lunch outside a moment of peace. At noon, the team decides to go out for lunch to celebrate finishing the presentation. Daniel suggests a nearby restaurant with outdoor seating. The weather is warm, a gentle breeze drifting through the trees. We find a table under a large umbrella. The sunlight filters through the leaves, creating soft patterns on the table. While we wait for our orders, Ethan asks, so, how does it feel to be the star of the meeting? I laugh. Star is a strong word. Mia grins. Okay, then how does it feel to not be terrified? I shake my head. I was a little nervous, but I wasn't scared. There's a difference. Daniel raises his glass of iced tea. To differences that matter. We all smile and clink glasses lightly. When the food arrives, simple dishes of rice bowls, grilled chicken, and vegetables, the table falls quiet for a moment. Not because the food is fancy, but because everyone is hungry and peaceful. We eat slowly, enjoying the break. Ethan looks at me and says, you spoke with a lot more clarity today. I blink, surprised. I did. He nods. Yeah, it wasn't just what you said. It was how you said it. How did I say it? He thinks for a moment, like the message mattered more than being perfect. His words hit deeper than he knows. After lunch, reflective walk. After lunch, the group heads back to the office, but I decide to take a longer route, walking around the block alone. The city feels restful in the early afternoon quiet conversations on benches, warm sunlight on shop windows, the distant clatter of dishes from a cafe. I walk slowly, letting my feet choose the path. And I think about how much has changed, not overnight, not in one big moment, but little by little. The small brave things, the small honest things, the small consistent things. That's how confidence builds. That's how fluency grows. Not by force, not by pressure, but by showing up every day. I stop at a crosswalk. Look up at the sky and whisper, you're becoming who you needed. Shadowing moment. Repeat after me, I'm becoming who I needed. Shadowing pause. One more time, I'm becoming who I needed. Back to work calm, natural C1 listening. When I return, the office is quieter. Some people are focused on spreadsheets. Others typing emails, others on calls. I sit down at my desk, take a sip of water, and check my inbox. A new message from the client we presented to. Thank you for today's presentation. Your explanations were clear and extremely helpful. Looking forward to working together moving forward. I read the message twice. Not perfect grammar, not advanced vocabulary, just clear, natural, human. And that's enough. I close the email, lean back in my chair, and let myself feel proud, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. Quiet pride lasts longer. A small talk with a coworker advanced natural dialogue. Later in the afternoon, Mia walks by my desk. She stops and says softly, "Hey, thanks again for helping yesterday. I learned a lot." I smile. "You're welcome. You did great today." She nods. "I was nervous, but hearing you speak calmly made me calmer too." I chuckle. We help each other without even realizing it. She smiles and walks away. I look at my screen again, feeling the truth of that. We're all connected in small, invisible ways. Shadowing break strong, C1 sentences. Repeat these, slowly and clearly. I can handle any conversation. Shadowing pause. My English feels natural and grounded. Shadowing pause. I trust my voice. Shadowing pause. I belong here. Shadowing pause. Excellent. The sun begins to set as the workday winds down. Warm golden light pours gently through the office windows, softening the sharp edges of desks, papers, and computer screens. People begin packing their things, their movements slower than usual, not tired, just peaceful. I shut down my laptop, place it into my bag, and stand up. The day feels long, but full in the best possible way. As I step into the hallway, Daniel jogs lightly to catch up. "Dinner," he asks. I shake my head gently. "Not tonight. I think I need a quiet evening." He nods knowingly. "Fair enough." "Enjoy the calm. Man, you earned it." We bump fists and head in opposite directions. The evening walk advanced, listening with emotion. Outside, the air is cool and comforting. People pass by in pairs, in groups, or alone, each carrying the story of their day in the way they walk. I walk slowly toward the metro station, taking my time. The city feels different tonight, lighter somehow, as if the world itself understands I need a gentler pace. A street musician plays a soft melody on a violin, the sound drifting through the air like a memory. I pause for a moment to listen. It's delicate, nostalgic, almost bittersweet. He opens his eyes and smiles when he sees me listening. "Beautiful evening," he says. I nod. "Beautiful music." He chuckles. I play what I feel. "Good," I reply softly. "People hear that." He nods again, grateful. I drop a coin into his open case, and he gives a humble bow. As I walk away, the music follows me for a few steps before blending into the background of the city. The metro ride, home quiet reflection. On the metro, I find an empty seat near the door. The train moves smoothly, gently rocking from side to side. Outside the window, lights blur into streaks of gold and white. Across from me, an older woman reads a thick novel. A student next to her listens to something on his headphones, mouthing words, quietly shadowing. Maybe. A man in a suit leans back with his eyes closed, exhausted but peaceful. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone is learning something. Everyone is carrying something quietly. I close my eyes for a moment and whisper, "You're doing well." Shadowing moment, repeat, "I'm doing well." Shadowing pause. Again, "I'm doing well." Arriving home, a calm night begins. When I step into my apartment, the quiet greets me instantly. Warm lights glow softly, and the familiar scent of the room wraps around me like a gentle blanket. I place my bag down and sit on the couch for a moment. My body relaxes, sinking into the cushions. It feels good to be home. I change into more comfortable clothes, soft pants, a warm sweater, and head to the kitchen. I cook a simple meal, a little rice, sautéed vegetables, a drizzle of sesame oil. The smell fills the apartment, warm and grounding. I plate the food neatly and sit by the window with my dinner, watching the night deepen outside. The world is quiet, and inside me, something is quiet too, a rare, steady kind of peace. A video call from Ava advanced, natural emotional conversation. As I finish eating, my phone buzzes softly. A video call from Ava. I answer with a small grin. "Hey." Her face appears smiling, warm, relaxed. "Hey, how did it go?" she asks immediately. "It went well," I say, "better than expected." She claps quietly. "I knew it would. Tell me everything." I lean back, balancing the phone on my knee. Well, I didn't forget my words. I didn't panic, and I didn't try to sound smarter than I am. Ava raises an eyebrow. "That's improvement." I laugh. "Hey." "What I mean," she adds gently, "is that you sounded real, honest. People respect that." I nod slowly, thinking about the clients, the meeting room, the hallway conversations. "Yeah," I say. "I felt clear." She smiles softly. That's what fluency feels like, not perfect grammar clarity. Her words settle inside me like warm tea. I ask, "How was your day?" She stretches lazily. "Busy, but good. I wrote for 2 hours this morning. Finally finished a chapter." "That's amazing." "Yeah," she says, brushing hair behind her ear. Feels good to commit to something. We fall silent for a moment, not awkward, just peaceful. Then she says, "You seem different lately." I furrow my brow. "Different how?" "More grounded," she replies, "like you're not trying so hard to prove anything." I smile, almost shy. Maybe I'm learning to trust myself. She nods slowly. "I'm glad. It looks good on you." The words strike something tender inside me. Not romantic, just human. The feeling of being seen. We talk a little longer about plans for the weekend, about books, about the small things that make days better. When we finally say goodnight, her voice is soft. "Sleep well. You deserve a peaceful night." And for once, I believe her. A night walk on the balcony closer to C2 listening. Later, I step onto my balcony again. The city hums quietly soft traffic, distant voices, the rhythm of life continuing beyond my small world. I look down at the street, where streetlights cast pools of golden light. Somewhere far away, someone laughs, someone plays music, someone closes a door. I breathe deeply, letting the cool air fill my lungs. Today was a good day, Not perfect, not extraordinary, just meaningful. And meaningful is enough. I whisper softly. You're not who you were before. You're becoming stronger. Shadowing break. Repeat after me. I'm becoming stronger. Shadowing pause. I trust my growth. Shadowing pause. I am confident in myself. Shadowing pause. Excellent. The notebook reflection at night. Back inside, I grab my notebook again, the same one Ava encouraged me to use. I sit on the couch, pen in hand, and write. One thing I learned today: confidence grows from clarity, not perfection. One thing I'm grateful for: people who remind me I'm capable. One thing I want to improve: speaking without rushing my thoughts. I close the notebook gently. The day is complete. The clock on my wall shows 10:42 p.m. The apartment is quiet now, only the gentle hum of the refrigerator and the faint sound of the city breathing through the windows. A calm stillness fills the room. I turn off most of the lights, leaving only a warm lamp glowing in the corner. This is my favorite moment of the day, the quiet, reflective space right before sleep. I sit on the floor with a cup of warm tea, my back against the couch, my legs stretched out. No noise, no pressure, just a soft, peaceful silence. And in that silence, thoughts finally begin to settle. Late-night reflection, advanced listening with natural, real emotion. I think about the morning, about the bus ride, about the presentation, about the small victories I didn't even notice until now. I whisper softly, "You're doing better than you think." Shadowing moment. Repeat slowly, "I'm doing better than I think." Shadowing pause. Again, "I'm doing better than I think." Good. The tea warms my hands as I breathe in deeply. I remember something my dad told me years ago. He said, "Confidence isn't loud, it's steady." Back then, I didn't understand. Now I do. Confidence isn't shouting. It isn't pretending. It isn't forcing yourself to be someone you're not. Confidence is staying calm. Confidence is speaking slowly. Confidence is trusting your voice even when it shakes a little. I take another sip of tea and let the warmth settle into my chest. A message from my mom, simple, warm, real. My phone buzzes softly. A message from my mom. It says, "Hope your day went well. Remember to rest. You always push yourself too hard." I smile to myself. She always knows. I type back. "It went well. Thank you, Mom. I'm resting now." She replies instantly. "Good. I'm proud of you." Simple words, but powerful ones. I place the phone down and close my eyes for a moment. A call from Emily Late Night Friendship Talk. A few minutes later, Emily calls. "Hey," she says, her voice soft and tired. "You awake?" "Yeah," I reply, "just winding down." "How do you feel now that the big presentation is over?" I think for a moment, lighter, I admit, and more myself. She laughs lightly. That's a good combination. Emily has always been the friend who understands things without needing a long explanation. "Well," she says, "I just wanted to tell you, I'm proud of you." I smile quietly. That means a lot. "You're becoming someone stronger," she adds gently. "I can hear it in your voice." I look around the quiet room, feeling a warmth rise inside me. Growth is slow, but people notice, even when you don't. Thank you, I say softly. We talk a little more about nothing and everything: weekend plans, work stress, dinner recipes, the usual chaos of life. Before we hang up, she says, "Sleep well." Okay, you deserve a calm night. Good night, I reply. The window moment: night air, real silence, clear mind. I walk to the window and push it open slightly. Cool air drifts in, brushing against my face. The street below is nearly empty. A single cyclist rides past. A distant dog barks. A car honks faintly somewhere far away. The world feels big, but gentle. I rest my arms on the windowsill and whisper, "You're allowed to slow down." Shadowing break. Repeat, "I'm allowed to slow down." Shadowing pause. Again, I'm allowed to slow down. An inner conversation: advanced C1, C2 listening. I think back to who I used to be, the version of myself that was always afraid to speak English, afraid to make mistakes, afraid of being judged. I remember how small I felt in conversations, how I avoided speaking because I didn't want to sound imperfect. I remember the frustration, the embarrassment, the anxiety. And now things feel different. I still make mistakes. I still pause. I still search for words sometimes. But I show up anyway. I speak anyway. I try anyway. Because growth is not about perfection. Growth is about courage. I whisper to myself, "You're learning. You're growing. You're trying. That is enough." Shadowing repeat slowly and confidently, "I'm learning." Shadowing pause. "I'm growing." Shadowing pause. "I'm trying." Shadowing pause. "That is enough." Shadowing pause. Excellent. A walk inside my own mind, natural, deep, real. I step away from the window, turn off the lamp, and sit on the edge of my bed. The room is dark now, lit only by the distant glow of the city through the curtains. I lean forward, elbows on my knees, hands clasped together. And for a moment, I just breathe. Slow inhale, slow exhale. I whisper, "You're exactly where you need to be." I repeat it again, softer. "You're exactly where you need to be." And for the first time in a long time, I believe it. The final shadowing session. Slow, clear, confident. Let's practice together slowly, deeply, like real-life inner thoughts. Repeat after me. I trust my journey. Shadowing pause. My English is improving every day. Shadowing pause. I speak with clarity and confidence. Shadowing pause. I don't need to be perfect. Shadowing pause. I just need to be present. Shadowing pause. I am capable. Shadowing pause. I am enough. Shadowing pause. Well done. Closing the day, a final moment of peace. I lie down on the bed, the sheets cool and soft beneath me. The world outside continues: moving cars, footsteps, late-night conversations, but I feel still, steady, strong. I look up at the ceiling and smile quietly. Today was a good day. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new conversations, new chances to learn. But right now, this moment is all I need. I let the calm settle in my chest and whisper one last time, "Keep going." The night grows deeper. Everything outside the window has quieted into a soft hum, an almost invisible rhythm that only people who stay awake this late can hear. I lie still for a moment, just breathing, feeling the calm of the room settle into my bones. But tonight, sleep doesn't come immediately. My mind is awake, but not restless, just reflective. It feels like the kind of night where the world whispers, "Slow down, look at how far you've come." I sit back up on the bed and rest my feet on the floor. The wooden boards beneath me feel cool, grounding. The final reflection, a real, adult moment of truth. I look around my room, noticing the little things I usually ignore: the small plant on the shelf, the stack of books I'm still trying to finish, the half-burned candle near the window. Simple things, ordinary things, but each one represents a part of my journey. There was a time when I thought improvement needed to be big, huge milestones, dramatic progress, overnight success. But now I understand something deeper. Progress is quiet. Progress is gentle. Progress happens in small, ordinary moments. I whisper softly, "You're changing in ways you can't always see." Shadowing moment, repeat after me, slow, clear. I'm changing in ways I can't always see. Shadowing pause. Again, stronger, I'm changing in ways I can't always see. Good. A late night walk to the kitchen. Simple, real, human. I walk to the kitchen, pour myself a small glass of water, and lean against the counter. The faint hum of the fridge, the quiet tap of water settling in the pipes, these sounds become strangely comforting. I whisper, "It's okay to be tired. It's okay to rest." Shadowing, I'm allowed to rest. Shadowing, pause. I don't need to be perfect. Shadowing, pause. I just need to keep going. Shadowing, pause. I take a sip of water and exhale slowly, sitting by the window. The real heart of growth. I walk back to the window and open it fully this time. Cool air fills the room instantly. Far below, a taxi drives past, leaving behind a brief echo of tires on wet pavement. A couple walks with slow steps on the sidewalk, deep in quiet conversation. Someone laughs in the distance, light, soft, like a piece of the night breaking open. Life continues, and I feel myself becoming part of it, more and more. Not hiding, not shrinking, not doubting. Just living, just growing. I whisper gently, "You're not behind. You're on your way." Shadowing, repeat, "I'm not behind." Shadowing, pause. "I'm on my way." Shadowing, pause. Beautiful. The notebook. A final entry for the night. I return to my notebook and open to a new page. At the top, I write, Day 177, 1 hour of English, 1 day of growth. Then I write a few simple lines. Today I spoke bravely. Today I showed up. Today I learned something real. Tomorrow I will try again. I pause, then add one last sentence. Confidence grows when you give yourself permission to grow. I close the notebook gently and place it on the table. Final shadowing session, C1, C2 level, natural, powerful. Repeat these slowly, clearly, with intention. I speak with clarity. Shadowing, pause. I trust my progress. Shadowing, pause. My voice matters. Shadowing, pause. I can express my thoughts naturally. Shadowing pause. I'm ready for real conversations. Shadowing pause. I am becoming fluent. Shadowing pause. One more time, slow, powerful. I am becoming fluent. A message from the future version of you. I lie back on the bed again, feeling comfort settle over me like a soft blanket. I close my eyes and whisper something I wish someone had told me years ago. One day, you'll look back and realize this was the moment everything started. Not the moment you became fluent, but the moment you believed you could be. Because fluency doesn't begin with perfect grammar. Fluency begins with belief, with courage, with showing up every day. Even when you're tired, even when you're scared, even when you doubt yourself. Especially when you doubt yourself. I whisper. You're doing your best, and your best is enough. Shadowing, my best is enough. Shadowing pause. The soft ending, a final moment of peace. The room grows darker, the night settles deeper, and my body begins to relax into sleep. Before closing my eyes, I whisper one last shadowing phrase, clear, calm, strong. Tomorrow, I'll speak even better. Shadowing pause. Tomorrow, I'll try again. Shadowing pause. Tomorrow, I'll be proud of myself. Shadowing pause. Then, quietly, gently. Good night. You did well today. The perfect closing for the video. If you're watching this, thank you for spending this hour with me, for practicing with me, for learning with me, for believing in yourself a little more today. Your English will grow, your confidence will grow, your voice will grow. As long as you keep going. From English in Motion. Thank you for being here. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you want more daily English practice like this. Now rest. You've earned it.